These people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together, they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. The question is, can they be beaten? Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. Here they are, the Eggheads. You ready to roll?
Always.
Good stuff. Challenging the might of our quiz Goliaths today are the Black Lock Buzzers. Now, this team all either work or fish at the Black Lock fishery in Falkirk. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Scott and I'm a service engineer.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm a retired project manager.
Hi, I'm Davey. I'm a full-time foster carer.
Hi, I'm Brian and I'm a financial advisor.
Hi, I'm David and I'm a ground worker.
So, Scott and team, hello.
Hello. Jeremy.
Good to see you. Scott, you run this famous fishery, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
OK, and it's the Black Lock fishery in Falkirk. It sounds wonderful. Describe it for us.
Yes, it's 124 acres of water, so it's a reasonable size. The fishing is mainly done from boats and it's all fly fishing for trout.
And some of your customers joining you today?
Yes, well, David and Davey both work at the fishery and Daniel fishes at the fishery and Brian does insurance for the fishery.
Excellent. Well, I'm hoping some fish questions come up now. They do sometimes in the science round. And just explain why you've got the word buzzers in your team name. What's a buzzer?
A buzzer is predominantly a trout's main food source. If you know a bit about entomology, insect life...
Wish I did.
OK. The buzzer is the main source, which can hatch all year round in the water.
Oh, so it's like a kind of fly, is it?
Yeah. It goes from the juvenile to the adult stage, and that's the trout's main food source. So as fly fishermen, we try and imitate the buzzer at its larvae stage and its adult stage and tie flies accordingly to try and
Oh, I see. So that's what goes on the end of the hook, is it? It's something that looks like a buzzer?
Yes.
Right. And talking of baiting the hook, are you ready to take these eggheads down? Have you been quizzing a bit yourselves?
We have been doing our best. If the subjects come up that we are hopefully prepared for, we'll do well. But we are under no illusion as to the quality of our opponents.
They are good, but they sometimes get overconfident. Good luck, team.
Thank you.
Every day there is £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to our next show. Now, Black Lock Buzzers, the Eggheads are very confident at the moment because they won the last 13 games. So 13 on the trot. We're hoping you can stop them today. We feel like it's time. If you do, there's £14,000 for you. All right? So would you like to get cracking?
Yes, please.
OK, cast the line.
Yes, let's do that.
The first head-to-head battle is on the subject of film and TV. One of you needs to go against either Judith, Kevin, Pat, Barry or Steve.
I'll take the lovely Judith then, please.
Oh, right. OK, Scott, so you're the film and TV man.
Yes.
Very good. Quick decision there, Judith, wasn't it?
That was, yes. Premeditated.
You've done a bit of film and TV recently, haven't you?
Yes, I have, actually. More or less successfully.
Oh. Well, let's not give too much away. Scott from the Black Lock Buzzers taking on our own buzzer here, Judith. To ensure there's no conferring, for the first time, would you please take your positions in our famous question room? OK, film and TV, Scott, would you like to go first or second?
First, please.
All right, here is your first question. Good luck, Scott, for the challengers. What is the name of the robot who frequently appears in animations on the television quiz show Catchphrase? Is it Mr. Fish, Mr. Chips, or Mr. Peas?
Mr. Chips.
Mr. Chips is quite right. Well done. OK, Judith. Which of these is a film viewing guidance rating used by the British Board of Film Classification? Is it 12A, PG-13 or G?
I think it's 12A.
Yes, you're right, Judith. 12A is correct. The other two aren't. Scott, which former Friends actress played the role of Gail Weathers in all 4 of Wes Craven's Scream films? Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow or Jennifer Aniston?
Could you ask me that question again, please?
I will indeed. Which former Friends actress played the role of Gail Weathers in all 4 of Wes Craven's Scream films?
I don't think it's Jennifer Aniston. Lisa.
Lisa Kudrow is your answer.
Yes.
It's not, it's Courtney Cox. So it gives Judith a chance here. To protect the sheep, you got to catch the wolf, and it takes a wolf to catch a wolf, is a quote from which film starring Denzel Washington? Is it Crimson Tide, Glory, or Training Day?
No idea. I haven't seen any of those. I think from the quote, it could possibly be about training, so I'm going to say Training Day.
Eggheads, is she right? Yes. Yeah, you are. You are right. Training Day. I don't know how you do that. She's ahead, Scott. So you need to get this one right.
Yep.
Which American actress won the Best Actress Oscar in 1932 and the Best Supporting Actress Oscar 39 years later in 1971 for the film Airport? Gloria Stewart, Jane Wyman, or Helen Hayes? You need this.
I definitely do. It's not one that's coming clear right away. Thinking with the age, I will go with Gloria Stewart.
Gloria Stewart is your answer. Let's just check this with the Eggheads. Eggheads, who was it?
Helen Hayes.
Helen Hayes. And what was the Best Actress Oscar for?
It's a film called The Sin of Madelon Claudet.
And that was 32, and then she won it for Airport in the 70s.
Yeah, but she played an elderly passenger on the plane that got into trouble.
Okay,
Airport.
one of those disaster movies.
Yeah, it was the first of a string of airport movies. Yeah.
Gloria Stewart is wrong. Scott, sorry. Helen Hayes is the right answer. Judith, well done. You've gone through to the final round. Scott, team captain, has been lost early. What's going to happen next? Please return to us. We'll play round two. As it stands, Black Lock buzzers have lost one brain from the final round. The Eggheads have still not lost any. And the next subject is science. So who would like science?
You gonna do that one? Do you think that one?
I'll take it.
David
Okay.
says he would try that one.
David at the end. Good stuff. Against which Egghead? Can't be Judith.
Well, take on your first choice. Whatever your first choice is, just take it.
Barry.
Barry, right. Go with that.
Yeah.
Barry.
Okay, it's going to be David from the Black Lock buzzers against Barry, our own Barry from the Eggheads. Just to ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions. Well, you've won a lot of competitions for fishing, I gather, David.
Yeah, I do a lot of fly fishing, local competitions at different waters.
Wonderful. What's the appeal for those of us who don't do it?
It's just getting out, fresh air, catch a few fish and just enjoy yourself, really.
Lovely. All right, I hope you can do the same here on science. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first, please.
Okay, trying to hook Barry here on science. A molecule of common table salt contains an atom of which metallic element? Is it magnesium, sodium, or lithium?
Well, I've really not got a clue on this one. I would go straight down the middle for sodium.
Sodium is quite right. What's the chemical formula, Barry, there?
NaCl, sodium chloride.
Okay, Barry. A Nobel Prize is awarded in which of these scientific disciplines? Barry, is it medicine, botany, or ecology?
Well, it should be awarded for botany and ecology, but the only Nobel Prize there is for medicine.
Medicine, and of course there are other categories as well, aren't there? Like, is there one for physics?
Physics, chemistry, peace, literature, economics.
Wow. Okay, back to you, David. The modern fire extinguisher was invented by British Army Captain George William Manby in the early part of which century? 15th, 17th, or 19th?
Was it the 19th?
Yes, brilliant. 19th it is. Good quizzing. Barry, to catch up. In 1961, which astronaut piloted the American space capsule called Freedom 7? Neil Armstrong, John Glenn, or Alan Shepard?
Now, that's an interesting one. It's not Neil Armstrong. Freedom 7. I always get confused over this as to which one of those two it is. Alan Shepard was the first American in space. I'm going to go for Alan Shepard.
Alan Shepard is quite right. Well done, Barry. Quizzing well, these eggheads, aren't they?
Very good.
Okay, David, your question. This can be decisive. The third question. What name is given to the process commonly used in industry to make ammonia? Is it the Frasch process, the Haber-Bosch process, or the Bessemer process?
Again, Jeremy, I'm not too sure on this one. I'll go for the Haber-Bosch process.
You're quite right. Haber-Bosch it is. Eggheads, do we know about the Frasch process?
It's for the production of sulphur, that one. So it's extracting it from various minerals and ores.
Okay. Bessemer, Pat, do you know?
Steel production.
Steel production. So sulphur, steel, and ammonia. Well done, you got that right, David. Puts Barry on the spot here. Which year is sometimes described as Albert Einstein's miracle year, it being the year he published 4 significant scientific papers, including his theory of special relativity? 1905, 1910, or 1915?
I think he also published a paper on the photoelectric effect, which won him the Nobel Prize. And his Annus Mirabilis was definitely 1905.
1905 is correct. Well done, Barry. Never going to catch you on that one. We go to sudden death. You've done a perfect round so far, David. And it gets a bit harder. I don't give you alternatives, okay? Are you composed?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go. In medicine, an ECG is used to measure the electrical activity of which part of the body?
Is it the heart?
The heart is right. Well done. Barry, a solution is described as acidic if it has a pH lower than what number?
Well, neutral in the pH scale is 7, and anything below that is acidic, and anything above that is alkaline, so it has a pH lower than 7.
Correct, 7 is right. David, the 2 elements in the first row of the periodic table are helium and which other?
No, my head's blank.
Helium and one other element in the first row of the periodic table.
No.
No?
No. No, I'll need to pass on that one.
Okay, any challenges? No?
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen is the answer. Hydrogen. Okay, Barry, you can take the round with this. Which sensory organ is distinctively enlarged on the desert-dwelling fox, the fennec? F-E-N-N-E-C. Which sensory organ?
Well, the fennec is a creature that lives in the deserts of North Africa, and it's renowned for having particularly large ears, so the answer is the ear.
The ear is correct, Barry. Well done on sudden death. You've taken the round. Sorry, David. Just that hydrogen moment knocked you out. It's difficult in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Pressure.
Yeah, pressure. Come back to us. Rejoin your teams, please. OK, the Black Lock Buzzers have lost 2 brains from the final round. The Eggheads have not lost any so far. Third round for you, gentlemen, is sport. Who would like this?
I'll take that.
Brian.
I'll take that.
OK, Brian, our financial advisor, against which Egghead?
I'll try Steve.
So Brian from the Black Lock Buzzers against Steve from the Eggheads. Please take your positions. Brian, you like your football?
I love it. I love playing it.
Still play it now?
Still playing 3 and 4 times a week. I love it.
Oh, you must be fit, man.
Well, I had 2 stents fitted last year, so one of the incentives to get fit was to get back on the park.
Great, and they didn't say to you, don't ever play football again?
It was the opposite. The surgeon said, just build your fitness back up, and there's no reason why you can't go back on the park.
How wonderful. So how do you find it playing then?
I love it, because obviously playing in the past with blocked arteries, it's a wee bit easier now.
Do you want to go first or second, Brian?
I'll go first.
And here we go. Which tennis player wrote the 2002 autobiography, You Cannot Be Serious? Andre Agassi, Andy Murray, or John McEnroe?
Well, that sounds like a very famous line that John McEnroe used quite a lot. So I'll go for John McEnroe.
John McEnroe is quite right. That ball was on the line. Steve, Val d'Isère is an important destination for which sport? Formula One, skiing, or tennis?
I think that might be skiing, Jeremy.
It is skiing. OK, back to you, Brian. The Busby Babes was a nickname commonly given to a group of players in which football team? Manchester United, Liverpool, or Arsenal?
Well, tragically, that was the team that was devastated with the plane crash, and it was Manchester United.
That's right, in the 50s. Manchester United is quite right. OK, Steve, your question. In 2015, it was announced that which African country would host the Commonwealth Games for the first time in 2022? South Africa, Egypt, or Nigeria?
Don't remember this. For the first time. I'm going to say Nigeria.
Do you know this, Eggheads?
I think it must be South Africa.
South Africa.
All right.
South Africa is the answer. Well, you're ahead, challenger. Get this right, you're in the final round. Which boxer defeated Sugar Ray Leonard in the 1980 bout known as the Brawl in Montreal? Mike Tyson, Roberto Duran, or Marvin Hagler?
Well, I think it's before Mike Tyson's time, so it's either Marvin Hagler or Roberto Duran. I'll go for Marvin Hagler.
Okay. There was an absolutely brilliant fight, one of the greatest boxing fights of all time between Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard, which Sugar Ray Leonard won. That's not the reference here. Roberto Duran is the answer. So have you missed the chance? Let's see. Steve, you've got to get this right to stay in.
Yeah.
At Hockenheim in 1982, which Formula One driver famously kicked and punched fellow driver Eliseo Salazar after he had been forced off the course? Ayrton Senna, Niki Lauda, or Nelson Piquet?
Well, it's too early for Senna. I suppose it could be Niki Lauda, but I think Nelson Piquet were famously volatile. So, might be skewed logic, but I will say Nelson Piquet.
Let's check with the Eggheads. Is this right, Eggheads?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah?
I think it's right, yeah.
They like that. Nelson Piquet is the right answer. After 3 questions, you're level. Don't worry, Brian. It's that Marvin Hagler answer, wasn't it?
Never forget that.
It caused the trouble. Don't worry, you're still in. And we go to sudden death, okay? Gets a bit harder, I don't give you alternatives. Which village in New York State hosted the 1932 Winter Olympics?
Village in New York. No, I don't know a lot about Winter Olympics. I'll go with Greenwich Village.
That's New York City. I don't know whether they'd have the space for it. Let's just see whether Steve knows this. Steve?
I think it's Lake Placid.
Lake Placid is the answer we were looking for. So sudden death, Steve has a chance now. Roger Clemens, nicknamed Rocket, is a famous name in which American sport?
I'm going to say baseball.
If you've got this right, you're in the final round. The correct answer is baseball. Well done, Steve. You've beaten Brian. Sorry, Brian, you're out as well. Please return to us, gentlemen, and we'll play round 4. One more round before the final. So, as it stands, a little bit of difficulty here for the Black Lock buzzers. How are we feeling, Scott? We're throwing out the line and the fish aren't biting at the moment.
Not looking great at the moment, but quietly confident.
I think you're right to be. Sometimes with fishing, you can have a period of hours where nothing goes on the line, and then suddenly all the fish come in.
I hope that happens today.
Yeah, I know that's a big part of fishing. So they've lost 3 from the final round, our challengers, and the Eggheads are still all there, and they're in the middle of this run that they're on as well, which means we're playing for £14,000. The last subject before the final is politics. So it's going to be Davey or Daniel.
I think David. Davey, sorry.
Do you want to leave Daniel into how do you feel with general knowledge?
Kevin or Pat.
This was one of the subjects that nobody wanted, actually.
I'll play that. I'll go for Pat.
Okay, Davey, our full-time foster carer, taking on Pat in the middle on politics. Please, for the last time, go to our famous question room. Okay, Davey, on politics, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first.
And here we go with your first question. Which of these US politicians was appointed Secretary of State in 1997? Was it Madeleine Albright, John Kerry, or Condoleezza Rice?
Well, I don't think it was Condoleezza Rice. Madeleine Albright?
Okay, Madeleine Albright. So let's just think this is... So Clinton was elected in 92 and then 96, so it was under Clinton. And you're right, the others were later. Madeleine Albright is quite correct. Well done.
Well done, David.
Good answer. Pat, since 2005, all UK general elections have been held in which month of the year? January, May, or December?
Not something I give much thought to. And they're always held in the same month. Well, common sense would suggest that May would be attractive because the weather is both more pleasant for the campaigners and also there's less risk of snow and transport paralysis affecting the turnout. But I'm trying to think, casting my mind back to the last election. No, it escapes me. I've just drawn a blank. I think I'll have to go on the basis of logistics and say that May is the most sensible time to hold an election.
Yes, May is correct. All held in May. OK, Davey. Hazel Blears was a Member of Parliament for which political party from 1997 to 2015? Labour, Liberal Democrats or Green?
Could you give me that name again?
Hazel Blears was a Member of Parliament for which political party from 1997 to 2015?
Don't think it was the Labour Party. I'm not too sure. I think I'll just go down the middle with the Liberal Democrats.
She was actually Labour. Yeah, she was in Gordon Brown's government and fell out with him slightly. Pat, your question. Who did Franklin D. Roosevelt defeat in the US presidential election of 1932? Lyndon B. Johnson, Herbert Hoover, or Dwight Eisenhower?
Well, this would be the start of his unprecedentedly long tenure as president. Dwight D. Eisenhower was a military man until after World War II, and Lyndon B. Johnson was president in the 1960s. So I think it's the humanitarian and very clever man who perhaps nevertheless wasn't entirely successful as a president, Herbert Hoover, that he defeated.
Herbert Hoover is correct.
Herbert Hoover's probably responsible for saving more lives than any other single person in history, because after the First World War, he was the head of the food relief campaign to push food over into devastated Europe. And he was so successful at that he saved millions and millions of people's lives.
Wow, how interesting. Herbert Hoover's the right answer, Pat. So that means, Davey, you've got to get this one right. In September 2016, the Labour Party held their annual conference in which city? Bristol, Aberdeen, or Liverpool?
Oh, I'm not too sure. Bristol? I think it was Bristol.
That's not a particularly Labour area, although that's not any reason why it shouldn't be Bristol. Liverpool is a bit more heartland. I guess that's the only clue I can think of in the question. Liverpool is the answer, Davey. So Pat's taken the round. Davey's sorry, beaten by our Eggheads, so looking tricky for the challengers with one person in the final. Please return to us. We'll play that final round for £14,000. Okay, here we go. This is what we've been playing towards. It is time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So I'm afraid it's from the challengers this. Scott, Davey, Brian, and David from the Blacklock Buzzers. Would you please now leave the studio? Daniel, good luck here.
Thank you, Jeremy.
And I don't know if they kept you back deliberately or maybe your subjects just didn't come up, did they?
They didn't come up.
OK. Well, you're playing now to win the Blacklock Buzzers £14,000, and that jackpot is high because the Eggheads are in good form. Steve, Barry, Pat, Kevin and Judith, you're playing for the Eggheads' reputation, of course. As usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time they're all general knowledge. You can confer. So, Daniel, the question is your one brain able to defeat these 5? And it'll be talked about for a long time at the Blacklock fishery if you can do it.
I like a challenge.
It can be done. We've seen it done from there before. Just keep focus, just like you do with your fishing.
Yep.
So, Daniel, would you like to go first or second?
I think I'll go first, Jeremy.
Here we go. Good luck. The 3 principal ingredients in a traditional pancake batter are milk, eggs, and which other? Butter, flour, or water?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
The 3 principal ingredients in a traditional pancake batter are milk, eggs, and which other?
They're all essential, but I would think it would be a funny pancake without flour.
Flour is what we're looking for, that's right. Flour is the answer. Eggheads, which of these is a prime number? 7, 8, 9.
7.
OK, everybody happy with 7?
Yeah.
That is 7. Sure.
Only divisible by 1 and itself. 7 is correct. Barry got so excited by that question. He hears the word prime, he's uncontrollable. OK, Daniel, your second question. In the standard UK version of the board game Monopoly, each player begins with how much money? £500, £1,500, or £5,500?
Well, I must admit, I'm not a player of games, so In this instance, it will have to be a total guess. I will go for 1,500.
Yes, now I was looking at this thinking it might be 500 because, of course, it's an old game and 500 would have been a lot in old money. But the answer is 1,500. You've got it absolutely right. Well done. Eggheads, your question. Which sporting figure's 2009 divorce from the former model Slavica Radic involved a reported $1 billion settlement? Roman Abramovich, Bernie Ecclestone, or Tiger Woods?
Well, Tiger was married to Ellen Nordegren.
It's not Tiger, no.
I think it's Bernie Ecclestone.
Roman Abramovich's first wife, I think, was called Yulia.
I thought Bernie Ecclestone.
I think
Very
it's-
expensive divorce.
I think it's Bernie. I think
Because
it
I
was.
know he was married to some sort of
Next
with a
model
name
at all,
like that.
Slovakian or
With
Slovenian.
H at the end.
Some tall girl who towered over him. Or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's Ecclestone.
Yeah.
I think it's Bernie Ecclestone.
Yeah, I'd have said Ben Ecclestone.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
On balance, Jeremy, we think that's Bernie Ecclestone.
Bernie Ecclestone is the right answer. So, 2-2, your third question. You feeling the tension?
No, I'm fine.
Well done. Very good. The famous 18th century clowning pioneer Grimaldi had what first name? Jacob, Joseph, or Joshua? This for 3 in a row.
I know the of Grimaldi. I just haven't heard his first name. So, as a guess, I will avoid going to the right and I'll go to the left and I'll say Jacob.
Let's just see. Eggheads, is he right?
I think it's Joseph.
Joseph is.
Joseph is the right answer, Daniel. Known as Joey the Clown. Okay, Eggheads, you can take it with this question. Third question, final round. Which former French Prime Minister fled to Spain at the end of the Second World War before being returned to France and executed as a traitor in October 1945? Is it Pierre Laval, Raymond Poincaré, or Edouard Daladier?
Laval.
It's Laval, isn't it?
Yeah, Pierre Laval. That was the other two we should exonerate. They weren't involved in anything like that at all. This was Pierre Laval.
The answer, Eggheads, is Pierre Laval. We say congratulations, Eggs, you have won. There we go. I'm sorry, Daniel. It's happened to a lot of great teams.
It's been a great day. We've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Have you enjoyed it?
We
Thank
have,
you.
yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming and teaching us a little bit about fishing. We all want to go to the Blacklock fishery now.
I'm sure you'd be made welcome any time that you want to come.
Thank you. Commiserations to the Blacklock Buzzers. The Eggheads have done what comes naturally to them. This impressive winning streak becomes even more impressive. It does mean the challengers don't go home with the £14,000. So we'll keep the money, roll it over to our next show. Eggheads, brilliant work again. All 5 of you there. It's really so impressive. But will it be brought to an end by our next team of challengers? Let's see. They'll be playing for £15,000. Until then, goodbye.